Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I am just settling myself in, and the plan is to kind of get started with my Commonplace book. It's been something I've been trying to kind of get on top of for a while and start, and other things just kind of got in the way. So I've got my traveler style cover here. I've got some things in. And in my last journaling vlog, you would have seen me cut this book down to size because it was bigger. It was about maybe this length or width. But I want my Commonplace books to be able to fit inside this cover. Originally, I wanted passport size, but I decided to just go with this one because this is something I already have and I want to use what I have. And if I like the Commonplacing enough, then I can always try the passport size to see if I like it better. So yeah, I cut this one down to size. This was a book I kind of had begun using as just like a creative journal to collage in. As you can see, I cut this off. I actually had intended on taking this entire page out before cutting the book, but I forgot. So it's in there now, but it is what it is. It's also a very, very bright green colour, which isn't my vibe, so I have collaged the outside of it, and I think I want to collage the inside of it too, so I think that might be part of what I do in this video today. I haven't really planned. Honestly, I'm not really sure how I want to set it up. I have been looking at different Commonplace videos and posts and kind of having a look around to see what other people do, and it all seems very personal, and I'm not really even entirely sure what I will be commonplacing about just yet. So honestly, I'm not really sure where I want to start. A lot of people I find have like a key of sorts where they put in like color codes, and it means then anytime they have a new entry they can color code it. Lots of people use little round dot stickers. So I was thinking I could make my own version of that, but because I don't know what exactly I want to journal about just yet, I don't know if I should really make a key or if I should go ahead and create one anyway and kind of generalize topics, and then if I find that that's not working I can change it. I can always just add a little piece of paper over the top to kind of switch it up so that the original key is still in there. This is the part I feel like I'm going to struggle with the most, because I like things to be very kind of meticulously categorized, and I find it hard whenever things can't be categorized in a specific way, or if they can kind of fall into multiple categories. So I'm not really sure which sections how I want to section everything off. I don't know if it would be better for me to just generalize it a little bit to begin with, and then if I find myself going deeper into other things, then I can maybe add like a subcategory potentially. So I think I'm just gonna have to wing it. I will probably look at some other journals keys to give me a bit of a starting point on how I want to like what kind of categories people use, and kind of start from there. So I think I'm going to do that. I want my journals to be in volumes. I wasn't sure whether I was going to put the like volume on the outside. I think I should, but I think what I might do is do maybe like a little sticker, something quite small, because I like how this looks with the cover being decorated, but I also don't mind the more plain kind of covers of things like, you know, like the field notes. These are just generic ones that I have, but the kind of plain cover, but I still like the idea of decorating them a little bit, maybe even putting a sticker on it and having like the volume number here, because I want them to be able to be archived quite easily into like a nice sized box or something. Again, it's all very new to me, so I don't really have a set plan. The only other thing I could think of for this is just to add little sticker, because I have stamps. I don't have them close by, I don't think, but I have a little stamp set that I can do volumes for. The only thing is I don't have stamps for numbers, just letters, so I think I might have to get some number stamps to try this out. But really, this book is kind of my experimental phase for it, so I guess I'll just wing it, and once I've kind of gotten into the swing of it, I can figure out whether I want to continue. I also like that this is a grid, so this is another reason why I wanted to use this book, because I like the idea of doing it in a grid rather than a dot grid or blanked or aligned. So I think I would prefer this. I'm not sure, I might change my mind. Maybe I'll go back to doing the dot grid, because this is quite a heavy kind of opacity on this grid. It's quite dark, whereas on my dot grid like journals, for example, they're quite light and it's not as obvious. So I might change my mind, I'm not sure. I also have seen lots of people do different layouts where they have like, they put a line down and they have the little columns, so there's different options. So I think to begin with, shall we just decorate it together and see how the inside cover kind of comes up? Because I want to cover this up and make it look more like this. So let's get started on that. so that is the inside cover decorated. I haven't done the back yet, but I'll do that another time. But it's pretty much matching up, like the same vibe as the front. So I guess I want to put in like that little title thing. So I was thinking what I could do is use one of my little like sticker things from here. Do I want to do like a little tiny one maybe? Do a tiny one and just write volume 1, like VOL1. That could work. These are a little off cut, but I can use my tiny scissors to fix it. Where did I put them? Here. So I don't know if I'll always kind of do my volume titles in this format. I think I would prefer to do the stamps. I just need to get some number stamps to go along with my letter stamps, but this shall do for my first one. I'm trying to be like good about not kind of being overly particular about having everything be perfect to start off with, because I don't want like that tends to be something I do. This might be too inky. Let's see if I can find a different pen. I don't want to overdo that, because I tend to like overthink things and then I end up just not doing it because I'm scared of like ruining it. So if I'm trying to allow myself the room to know that volume 3. Why did I write volume 3? There we go, case in point. I'm trying to allow myself the room to know that it's going to change, because the system won't start off exactly how I want it to. So yeah, that is what I'm going to do, hopefully. Let's try this again. Just so distracted talking that I just didn't think about what I was writing. Okay, volume 1, not volume 3. Volume 1. There we go. Okay. Cool. So that is the cover done. What I was thinking is, for now, what I might do is write out a little list of kind of options for things that I think that I might end up writing about, and that way I can kind of get a better idea of different categories. So I've been watching a few different videos. So a few people that I've been watching are Megan Rhiannon, Untitled Paintings, and The Common Corner, I think it's called. I've watched quite a few different ones. There's also Dozy Ghoul. I will list all of these people below. Yes, the Common Corner. So I've just been kind of watching. The first person I ever watched that did the Commonplace stuff was Megan Rhiannon, but I started to kind of find more videos from there, and this has kind of gotten me into the kind of rabbit hole of looking into doing it, and I thought it would be quite interesting, because a lot of the time I find I have these interests in things that kind of randomly pop up, or thoughts about things that I'm reading, and I don't really do anything with them, and I thought it would be nice to try and start the Commonplace so that I could have a place to do it. And it means then I can kind of highlight and put things into my phone on the go, or save images and things like that into a folder, and then set aside time to actually sit down and commonplace about it, because I find myself like Googling things all the time or researching things, like when I'm reading books, or something will just pop into my head and I'll be intrigued by it. And because I find it quite hard to retain information just like by like reading about it once, I find I retain information a lot better if I write it down. I know there's different like there's different learning types, and I'm definitely the kind of person who needs to write things down and see things visually. So I think having this will be really nice because it feels like it'll be something that'll really inspire me and is somewhere that I can just have a little bit of fun, and it doesn't necessarily have to be about any one in particular thing. I can have multiple things that I can talk about in it, because I was finding myself wanting to create journals for lots of different topics, and then I realized like this is going to get out of hand. Like I already had a bullet journal, I tried to start a morning pages journal, then I had like a memory journal and a travel journal, and that's what I was using kind of part of my traveler's cover thing for. Like I was trying to keep a whole bunch of different ones in here, which is great too, and it's great that can be what it can be used for. And but when I found out about the Commonplace one, I was like, oh, that could be quite a nice place to put everything that I'm interested in learning about specifically, or planning or ideas, things like that. I know Commonplacing is about kind of writing out kind of quotes or information you find or ideas, like an info kind of. It's hard to explain. I've been trying to read about it. In fact, I think that I need to do a Commonplace page about commonplacing. Very commonplace inception. So I think that might actually be my first page in the Commonplace book, because I find it hard to find the words to describe exactly what it is. I've read a couple of different articles and things, and the consensus seems to be that it is just one common book for all of the stuff, but it's less so about your own thoughts and more so about the things that you're reading. So it's not like somewhere where you would journal. It's more kind of a book of knowledge that you've gathered together, I guess. That's the best way I can describe it right now with my limited knowledge. So I will also pop a couple of links down into the description so that you can read about it too if you're interested. But yeah, let's get on with trying to figure out some categories, because yeah, I'm not really sure. Like I'm going to write down things I've seen other people say and things that I think that I might end up writing about. So like there's people who have written about like special interests, like things that they're particularly focused on in that moment, because there's things that I do, you know, where I kind of hone in on one thing in particular for a specific period of time, and then I move on to something else. So it could be good to have a category kind of like this, because I feel like I might find that I'll be interested in one topic for a period of time, and then I'll kind of run out of steam with it and move on to something else. So it could be good to have this kind of catch-all category for those things that don't end up being talked about for a long period of time, but we shall see anyway. And I will have like reading / books. I do have a reading journal. I have other videos on my channel where I set up my reading journal, and I've been doing my spreads on the different books that I've been reading. But in those videos, if you've watched them, you'll know that I have been kind of toying on and off with the idea of changing my system with it, because I'm not 100% feeling it. I don't know if I'm just not into the way that I'm setting up my spreads, but I feel like I might do better with book spreads if they're laid out in one particular way, because the way I'm doing it right now is kind of similar to the way that I decorate my bullet journal spreads and things. So I feel like it's not really fitting with the way that I want to do things for the book. So I have continued on with the reading journal spreads the way that I have been doing them previously, but I think I want to test run doing some spreads in my Commonplace, because then I can write out quotes and things from the book, and it's not necessarily going to be where I'm writing my thoughts about the book, because I've found that actually writing that in the reading journals that I've been doing, I've not fully enjoyed doing that. I think I prefer maybe to have more of a kind of info sort of section on the book, about who the author is and that kind of thing. So I'm not really sure. I'll test run it and see. It also depends too, because I don't know if that still kind of counts as something to put in the Commonplace, because the books that I'm reading they're not for knowledge, they're just fun fictional reads. So yeah, they're not necessarily non-fiction books where I'm like learning a specific topic, so I'm not really sure if that fits into the commonplace category. I would love to know thoughts on it. If anybody watching has done commonplacing, has more knowledge on it than I do, I would love to know your thoughts on like the kind of categories that you would put into a commonplace book. It could be that in the future I figure out that maybe I don't want to do it exactly how I would with a commonplace. Maybe I do want to have it where I put my own thoughts into it too, and it would be more of a journal than a commonplace. But for now, we'll stick to just commonplacing. So if you have any knowledge on it at all, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Okay, so special interests, reading books. What else? I think maybe like recipes. I feel like that's something I would probably write in it, like food, or if I find a particular recipe I really enjoy, I could put it in, and write like the ingredients and like to follow along with the recipe. What else? I know some people categorize things off in different ways as well, like they'll have like quotes, for example. Maybe lists, copied text. What else could we do? Things that I might be interested in, like mental health or mindfulness. Let's see. I feel like because I'm out of practice of doing something kind of like this, not necessarily out of practice because I've not done the commonplacing before, but not in this sort of frame of mind of thinking, like I've not done it, so I can't think off the top of my head what I would want to write about, because I think on the fly I'm doing that sort of thing, like something will randomly pop into my head, or I'll have a conversation with somebody and then I'll want to like research something. I guess maybe movies or TV shows. Because actually, now that I'm saying movies and TV shows, that's something that I think that I talked about in another video where I had... Yeah, so I had written about movie, a book, another TV show, and another book, and my plan was to take the notes that I'd taken from this, put into this book, and actually create like a proper spread about it, and it never went anywhere. And yeah, so TVs, movies, let's see what else. Yeah, so that's what I was saying. I might think of things like this on the fly, where something comes up in conversation, it makes me want to like look into it and read about it a bit more. So it's hard for me to, in this moment, sit down and kind of think of the things that happens with, or the things that I tend to gravitate towards. So yeah, I guess this might be okay for now. I will probably go back at some point and watch a few more videos to kind of see people setting up their commonplaces and write maybe a few more options here. And then what I can do is I could probably do a spread on this actually in the commonplace. This is the kind of thing I feel like would fit into this book, because it's a gathering of things, a gathering of information, and it will help me make decisions on stuff. I assume, I don't know, I feel like that works. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there. Another thing that I am trying to decide is, when I do categorize things, do I want to color code it with like markers? Like I have highlighters, I've got my liners that I could use as a highlighter, you know, to color coordinate things like this. Or something I've also seen people do is they use like the little dot stickers, so something kind of similar to these. So I have my own version of this sort of sticker sheet. These are from a bundle of ephemera that I got from my lovely friend Jenny from Olive and Mabel. I actually have my own version of this type of sticker sheet in my shop, my sticker shop. So I was thinking, because these dots and these dots, like they're quite big. I don't know if that's like too big as like a sticker to use as like a reference. Maybe it's not, but the plan for me was to create another version of those types of stickers that I have in my own shop, and do them in colors that I feel like would work for me, and just do them smaller so that I can kind of I can list out my categories with the colored dot beside it, and then every time I put an entry in, I put the colored dot beside it so that I can coordinate it that way. I have also seen, I think it was the Common Corner, I think it was that person that I saw, where they, was it the Common Corner? I'm questioning myself now. It could have been, don't quote me on it, but what they did was they bought a roll of white stickers, little dot stickers, and then they used their markers to colour the stickers in. So that is also another option, and it would save me printing off, unless other people wanted to use the stickers as well. So it is a sticker sheet that I have been meaning to make for my shop, because I think that they would make for good kind of little bullet point almost things in your bullet journal. So I might make them anyway, but I think I will play about with that and figure out if I want to do white stickers with coloured marker. My only problem with that is maybe I run out of the marker, whereas if I'm printing them, I have my printer and my sticker and my cutter, so I can do those myself. So yeah, I just need to have a think about that and decide, but for now I think I'm going to leave it there. I will pop in for another episode of my journaling vlog, and we can maybe try and set up together. I'll probably do a video on doing a Commonplace spread. You can let me know if that's something you're interested in. So that's me finishing off the video now. I really hope you enjoyed. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.